economy in the world. Meanwhile, median household wealth has grown by 37% in real terms since before the pandemic. I acknowledge there's a disconnect between the numbers and how people feel about their place in the world right now. We can deal with the second part as well. We still have work to do, but our model for growing is delivering real results for all Americans. Significant Black unemployment, Latino unemployment, etc.
Exciting news. Make sure to keep an eye on your mailbox. If you reside in one of these states, you can expect to see financial relief very fast. Now, negotiations are continuing on state inflation relief checks. In the state of Alabama, a proposed income tax rebate is still moving forward, but at a much reduced amount. An Alabama Senate committee has approved an income tax rebate of $100 for most filers. That is $300 less than the rebate first processed by the Alabama governor. It's a way to redistribute the state's largest budget surplus. Governor Ivey said at an event, "It's only right while we still acknowledge we are recording revenues far exceeding normal and sustainable levels. We give a fair share of this money directly back to the people." Under the new proposal, the cost of the rebate will go from $1 billion to $275 million. The rebates funds will come out from a larger $2.8 billion spending package currently under debate. The payments still need to be voted on by the Alabama legislature and signed into law before they can go into effect. Meanwhile, a neighboring state is already sending out its second major tax rebate soon. Most Georgia taxpayers have been receiving income taxes and tax rebates early this week. The funds are made possible by the recently passed House bill, and the bill allows for the redistribution of the state's $6 billion surplus back to residents. Some filers, solo filers, receive $250, heads of households filers get $375, and couples are due $500. The size of the rebate cannot be bigger than the taxpayer's tax liability. New Mexico residents can also look forward to upcoming rebates, and the New Mexico governor says the latest round of rebates will go out in mid-June. Thanks to a bill passed by lawmakers during the 2023 session, New Mexico residents who had previously filed taxes will get another round of rebates. Single tax filers will get $500, married couples, heads of households, and surviving spouses will get $1,000. Taxpayers who use direct deposit when filing will get the latest round of rebate checks very fast. But those who are in 2021 New Mexico income tax returns will get an automatic rebate. If you don't even file 2021 returns but still want to, you have until May 23rd to do this done. And now New Jersey residents are still waiting for their state relief payments and can expect to receive them soon. Nearly a month after the first property tax rebate payments are sent out, the process is winding down as the State Department of Treasury works through the remainder will randomly select residents. The selected people will get $500 a month for 2 years, and authorities expect to first see the guaranteed income stimulus checks from Virginia in 2023. This program is going to cost $3 million, not a lot of money, and the funding for the program just comes from the CARES Act and the Rescue Plan Act. To be eligible for the guaranteed stimulus check, you must be at least 18 years older, and also applicants' annual income should be less than 50% of the area median income. Not only this, but other states and cities are doing the same thing. They're experimenting with this. They're experimenting with similar guaranteed income programs. Richmond, Virginia, for instance, came up with a similar program with just 18 families. New York also did the same thing. For the last 6 months, President Biden has just been talking with his advisors about discussing the gas prices and what needs to happen on this. That's because now single prices rattle consumers as much as the cost of gas, which crept up again to a new high of $5 a gallon in June. As it comes no surprise that soaring gas prices corresponded directly with President Biden's sinking approval rating. Since then, gas prices have fallen by about $1.10. Biden may have helped a little by releasing oil from the strategic reserve, but according to Yahoo News, Biden has largely ignored another important type of fuel. Diesel fuel, which is critical for the production and transportation of many everyday products, is here. Around the same time, gas hit $5 a gallon. Diesel hit $5.81 a gallon. Now gas prices are now 22% below their peak, but diesel just 8% lower. On a year-over-year basis, gas prices are up 15%, while diesel is up 43%. High diesel prices are a kind of hidden inflation because most consumers never buy stations, but it's possible because efforts to create commissions to examine the programs may move forward as part of a deal, which has set off a vigorous debate, and that would include Social Security pension disability. Medicare Part A, highway trust funds, and things like that. Social Security's trust funds are projected to pay full benefits until 2035, at which point just 80% of the monthly checks will be payable, because Medicare's Part A trust fund will cover hospital care. It's projected to pay benefits fully until 2028. A group of several lawmakers say they are moving forward with a new bill that would stop all payments to lawmakers, and if they can't reach a deal on the debt ceiling, this could happen. So a new bill, everybody, would block lawmakers from getting paid if the government defaults on its loans or shuts down, which I would say is a good idea considering the fact that they don't even want to send out the stimulus checks anymore. So this is a possibility as negotiations over raising the debt ceiling have stalled between Joe Biden and the Republicans. But first of all, folks, before we get into the information, I just want to say thank you for watching my channel. And as a way for me to show my appreciation, I just want to say, here's a free $60 Amazon gift card. Use the code right here on your screen and enter it on the checkout aisle on Amazon.com. Remember guys, it's a free Amazon gift card, and if you would like it, just redeem the code. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more videos because I'll also be releasing a ton of more gift cards. Today, Democratic representatives have talked about introducing a bipartisan bill that would require the support from payroll administrators. The lawmaker would still eventually receive their pay, and the payments would be released at the end of the 118th Congress in 2025. But so far, the government is allowed to borrow about $30 trillion, everybody, and they have hit that limit in January. But still, the Treasury Department has been using extraordinary measures to pay the nation's bills. Janet Yellen has even told lawmakers that earlier this month, her best estimate is that a default could occur as June 1st, and though it could be a number of weeks later. She called it imperative that Congress act as soon as possible to increase or suspend the debt limit in a way that provides long-term certainty that the government will continue to make its payments. Earlier this week, Kevin McCarthy and Joe Biden spoke and appeared to make some progress towards the debt ceiling in a meeting earlier this week. McCarthy told reporters after the short afternoon meeting that it's possible to get a deal done by the end of the week. By the end of this year. Folks, what do you think about this? Is Joe Biden doing all that it takes, giving all of his effort to help the people out with stimulus payments? Tell me what you think in the comments below, because I definitely believe that he's not, and he could definitely be doing a ton of more work to help out the American people with stimulus checks.
I recognize the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Buchanan, to inquire.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I want to thank you for your service. You and I just talked briefly a few minutes ago, but my passion is really to look at the big picture in terms of debt and deficits. If you look over the last 15 years, everybody talks about reducing the deficits, and that we've ran up almost $20 trillion in debt in the last 15 years or so. So what can we do about that? But also I want to how does that tie in your opinion, to inflation? In the last 4 or 5 years, or last couple of years, we ran into $4 or $5 trillion of additional spending. They like to spend another $2 trillion, but everybody feels in our area that it's impacting inflation in a big year, and it's killing a lot. I'm in Florida, so a lot of our seniors count on a slight raise here and there, and this deficit is really hurting them badly. So what's your thought between spending and inflation?